All right, so here's my opinion of the way that this match ended. 2-2 Chelsea, Bournemouth. First off, I want to say this. Bournemouth, they're not an easy team to play. I think this is eight games straight without a loss. I think they have five wins and the rest are draws. But regardless, like, I've been saying it and screaming it at the top of my lungs for weeks now, months now, is that our counter defending is a joke. The idea, and you know what I realized what it is watching this match today is that, like, the problem is Maresca sends our sixes, Moise Caicedo, for Enzo Fernandez. Today Lieva was on the field. He pushes everybody so far forward that it leaves our defense wide open. And then, like, he pushes everybody forward, and then he's like defending a team. But if they're playing in the 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3, then he's defending our three. He has our three defenders who end up being our two center backs and an outside back now have to defend like the other team's attack, and it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like week after week we see that this is the problem. We see that our counter defending has gotten us goals scored on. One of the goals were a counter defense. One of the goals were the penalty from Caicedo that he just gave away. That was just pretty poor defending. Simply as that. And then the rest of the game is just like Nicholas Jackson. He's great when it comes to 2/3 or 3/4 of the field. When it comes to our 18-yard box, he just becomes a ghost. He just becomes like irrelevant, and it just doesn't, like, to me, like, I get it, like, he's young, blah 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 blah. Like, he does, like, as a center attacking midfielder, he'd be great. He can just distribute the ball really well. He can hold off defenders. He can do all these things. But when it comes to him making a decision or striking the ball, it's just like it's awful. It's atrocious. And I said it a couple days ago in a video that I posted, and I'm gonna say it again today. Is that, like, when it comes to our outside midfielders, they are ghostly. Like, when it comes to Jadon Sancho, I've made up my mind. We should not re-sign him from Manchester United. Let him walk and go find someone else. Like, go spend 50, 60, 70 million dollars in the summer on an outside midfielder who is drastically better and more effective and more experienced and can be a dominant outside midfielder. Because right now, our outside midfielders are terrible. Pedro Neto came on and was awful. He had 15, 20 minutes on the field, and he was awful. The entire 15, 20 minutes, he was not great. And, for those people, like, we are missing Mikhailo Mudryk. Genuinely, we are missing Mikhailo Mudryk. And so, what else did there's other things like refereeing today was atrocious. Should have been 2 red cards without a debate. No debate whatsoever. There should have been 2 red cards for Bournemouth. There should have been that red on Cucurella, and then there should have been 2 yellow with Max Christie. And it's like the officiating is either way too many cards or very little cards and too cautious and don't want to control the match. But it's like you still have to control the match. You still have to do your job as a referee. But I blame Maresca for this debacle that we've been on right now. I blame that. I blame the complacency that we go up and then we just become complacent. We should have had 2 goals, maybe 3 in the first half. That didn't happen because obviously Nicholas Jackson can't finish, and we can't just finish like as a team. And then you look at Cole Palmer. He got banged up in the first half. He got pretty much limited for the rest of the match. And then the second half, we let teams back into the game. So we gave them the second half to come back into the game. Being complacent, and that comes with youth. Like, this is why we're not in the title race because of games like this, because of times like this. And at this point, we're still top 5, top 6, and that's great from where we were last season, the year before that. But we need to we need to get back to that level of consistency. We need some defensive help. We need some sixes, actual sixes, because in my opinion, Lieva's not great. I don't love Enzo Fernandez. I like Moise. Moise has been one of the best players we've had all season long. But it's like we need to either that or we need to change our tactics because something's got to give and something needs to change.